So remember everything we said last week, y'all? Remember all the praise we were giving to people? Some of that's still true. Some of that still reigns true. Some of that we're going to need you to delete from your memories, delete from your minds.
Never said it.
Never said some of those things. Indeed. Yeah, we gonna recant some of those statements today. Some of those fan cams y'all made. RHAP, I'm looking at you.
Jump the gun by exactly one episode.
They didn't know.
They
None
couldn't
of us
have
knew.
known.
None of us could have known the absolute monster that would have emerged in this episode. We all should have known, but none of us could have known the monster that was going to emerge in this episode. So, with that being said, hello, hi everyone. Hey, welcome to the Cup TV, part of the Currently Unnamed Podcast Network, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay, and this is going to come as a major surprise to everyone. Y'all, I'm drinking coffee. It's coffee. But it is slightly new. I'm trying a new coffee creamer. It is Better Goods plant-based oat milk sea salt caramel coffee creamer. It's okay. It's fine. I'm accepting it. I'm allowing it into my life. This is my first time trying it. So, potentially next week or in future live streams, because we are now streaming 4 times a week, 3 days a week on this channel. Potentially I will have other opinions. So, we'll see. And speaking of those live streams, make sure to check us out here every Wednesday, twice on Wednesday, live here to talk about both Survivor 48 as well as Celebrity Big Brother UK. And make sure to check out Celebrity Big Brother UK Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. BST, and Survivor 48, 9:45 p.m. Eastern on this channel. Boom. Ding. Thank you.
Hi. I'm Jack, the resident game designer of the panel. I'm running on about 3 hours of sleep, and I'm not currently sure if this is a waking nightmare or not. But this whole episode has felt like one, so I really I'm half sure I'm about to wake up. And I'm just gonna pray that that's the scenario we're in. Because anyway, I have water.
Party.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, it's me. It's Lana, your resident evil diva. I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because I love me some tea. I'm drinking some water. I got my cup mug.
Woo!
And I would say it's a party, but today's not a partying mood. I'm just not in it.
Yeah, no,
I'm not
it really
in it.
isn't.
I'm not feeling it. So this episode doesn't get a party.
But it is a panel full of cup mugs.
But it is a panel full of cup
It
mugs.
is.
And you can still get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically. So there are no excuses. But this episode has really brought me down. It has really given me to the point of I don't care. I mean, usually I try not to eat on this podcast, but I'm stress eating because I'm angry and I'm angry eating. So if you see me eating, it's because I'm angry.
We should have done angry intro 2 weeks in a row. I forgot to do angry
Yeah, we had the
intro again.
option.
Oh yeah, I had angry intro last time.
We had angry intro last week because Say
I
went
wasn't
home.
there for I wasn't there for it, but
yeah, because we lost Say and said, oh yeah.
And says it gets so angry, sad, upset. And it's not even because of Chrissy. Oh, well, spoiler alert.
Well, I'm angry. I am angry.
I'm sure. I'm angry for her because I feel like she's been right. But I'm angry how it happened, and I'm angry about this whole episode as a whole. So
yes. I agree.
Yes. But there we go.
For her, for the situation of this episode, and for my draft team, I am angry.
Yes.
Mine too on another draft. Oh, I took a hit. Angry.
I took a hit last week. I almost took a hit this week. I almost took a hit this week. I have Camilla in another draft. So, but yes, we are here. It is indeed episode 8 of Survivor 48. What a, I mean, it's going to be a memorable episode for certain things. But, you know, some of the people we were watching with kind of noted during this episode, the energy felt like it was sucked out of the episode. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with Say. I gotta be honest.
Yep.
With Say being gone, the energy is, I don't know. Something shifted. Something shifted in this episode. Something shifted with these people.
Changed within this episode.
Within me. Yep.
Something is not the same.
Period.
And
but
it's Say not being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, shame.
It genuinely is a massive hole in the season of just vibes and someone who is very clearly excited to be on this show and is ready to strategize and really play. And I mean, we still do have various people on the show currently who want that. And unfortunately, I think we see what that could end up leading to today with those people being punished for wanting to play the show. But
I do have a question.
Yes.
Because breaking the fourth wall here, Logan and myself were a little late to watching the episode because we were actually live streaming another
We were
podcast
literally live with CBB UK.
with CBB UK, and so we missed a little. I want to know, what was the reaction to see that Cedric and Say were both voted out at the last tribal council? Because was there any reaction for when the other people came back from tribal, or they just didn't even show that? Like, they didn't even care.
They did talk about it. Say being gone was basically everyone's expectation from the moment that she lost immunity. So everyone was like, yeah, okay, that tracks. Yeah. And then said, being the other kind of obvious option, getting a vote last tribal, they were like, oh, said is gone. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess I hope he enjoys Ponderosa. Like, it was.
That's a shame.
It did very much feel like, and we're moving on. This was fine.
Okay.
I mean, that's what happens when you get pretty much 2 unanimous votes back to back. Like, it's really not going to do much for you.
Well, make that 3. Make that 3. Also, before we move any further in the episode, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things competitive reality TV. And here at the Cup TV and across all 4 of our networks here at the Cup Network, we are trying to reach 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. And each one of you subscribing means that we get to do some fun, cool, and new exciting things across all of our channels. So all of your support means the absolute world to us, and we thank you very, very much. And make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, as well as our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and our merch link. All those are down in the description below. So, yes, other than that, the only real thing we see overnight is there's this conversation between Kyle and Cheyenne, because obviously they have the strong 4 or the strong 5, and they want to make sure that they have the numbers. We're at 10 now. They want to make sure that we have the numbers, and Kyle is talking about potentially wanting to bring Mary into the alliance because they've worked together on a couple of votes now. Mary's a good number. Cheyenne is a little bit worried about Mary, not too certain about Mary. David immediately is like, David all the while is like, I want to target Camilla. I don't like Camilla. This starts the anti-Camilla train. I don't like Camilla. I want Camilla.
And for I mean, I'm still trying to find a reason really why, besides she's not a direct member. We also find out a little bit later on of like, oh, and she's not directly working with me, so like regardless of your other friends out, regardless of any other ally that could be have or has a vote, and
What
also
is-
the fact that she has voted to none of that matters.
But
None
also-
of that matters.
But also, was David not literally in an alliance with Camilla at the start of the season? They were literally in an alliance. They were in a 4-person alliance on Siva. So, like, what happened? I don't understand. I
No
don't
big
get it.
muscles. I guess.
Oh, yeah, no big muscles.
Yeah,
but where are
no
Mary's
big
big muscles?
But Mary's willing to work with him. Mary's on his side. So Mary goes with him. But that also leads me to, okay, Mary wasn't a part of this 5. And you want to say Mary's good. We want to bring into the 6. All of a sudden, we want to bring into a 6 and have a 6. But like, did you consult us before you wanted to just add in a 6? We
No.
thought it was just a 5. And how come is your person who trusts you 100% and fully with you and not some? Because if I was Kyle, I'd be like, well, I think I can get Camilla to work with us. Why would you not let me have somebody who's not in the direct 5 if you have someone who's not in the direct 5 and on your side, and so that's an extra number for you, so you look a little shady pulling in somebody else that's gonna be with you, but you want to cut out anybody else who gonna have somebody else bring, like Joe has Evil, which just happened to be in the 5, and then you go bring in Mary so you can have a duo within the 5. And so I'm just supposed to just latch up with Shaheen just because? Or how come I can't have somebody who's not directly in the 5 and bring them into the fold and they could be a number? We still got Chrissy, Mitch outside of the 5. Star, all outside of the 5. So we have options until we can
Yeah.
start cutting our people off outside of the 5. But
Right.
because David decides he wants what he wants, nobody else's voice no longer matters.
Exactly.
And that's a problem for me.
Yeah. Well, let's put a pin in that because that comes up
Mhm.
way more in this episode. It becomes
Mhm,
a
mhm.
lot more relevant. But we open up the next day. There's a conversation. Eva's talking about fighting something. What is she fighting?
Them fighting. What is the largest animal they think they can fight and win? This is literally a filler conversation.
That we didn't
The
need.
only interesting thing is that Joe thinks gorillas can retire.
What?
Joe thinks that gorillas can retire. He wants to take on a retired gorilla.
What the fuck is a
What's the
retired
retired gorilla? Baby, what? Oh,
Oh
Joe.
god.
I can't answer that question. I don't know
I don't
what
think
that means.
anybody can.
Is
Google
that like a
can't answer
gorilla
that
who
question.
goes into a zoo and then is returned back to the
I'm pretty
wallet?
sure.
Like,
I'm pretty sure a retired gorilla is a dead gorilla.
Right.
Oh baby, Joe. At least you're pretty. At least you're nice to look at, Joe.
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
baby. Well, Lord, I'm moving on from that.
Retired gorilla. What?
retired
What?
gorilla.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
So we get a scroll saying that everybody got to pair up for this next immunity challenge. So let me get the. We're all on screen. Yay. Okay. Great. Here's our people. Hey, people. Hey.
This just
So
makes me
everybody's got a.
sad.
I know. Because
This pisses me off again.
Yeah, no, I just got real annoyed again.
It pissed me off all over again. Anyway.
We're gonna live, I think. I don't know anymore. I'm
I don't
upset.
know.
Anyway, so everybody's got to pair up for this immunity challenge. And for some reason, it is wildly strange to everyone in the strong five for Cheyenne to pair up with Camilla.
Dr. Presses, what do you mean Shaheen's it's paired up with Camilla? How weird is that? I'm like, why?
Okay, Joe's already paired up with Eva. David's already paired up with Mary. Chrissy's already paired up with like what?
Well, who else would he go pair up?
Because he said it first and was like, I want Camilla, knowing that what this challenge is, because they've done it 3 seasons in a row now, is you're going to have to work with a partner to strategize. And Cheyenne knows that Camilla is smart and will probably help him get through the first 2 stages.
Yep.
You know, like a reasonable decision.
We don't know why he picked her first. Like, that's shady. That's sneaky. I'm like, what?
Okay.
What is wrong with you people? Like, seriously, what is really going on that we feel like because he decided to pick the person he thought could help him in this challenge is sneaky? Hello. Please get your lives. All of them. Get all of your lives at this point. Only person that don't care is Kyle. Because Kyle knows he could have picked Camilla, but he didn't want to pick Camilla to blow that cover, so he didn't pick Camilla. And Camilla knew that, and that's why she wasn't trying to jump to pick him. Because you know why? They're thinking about this game as a bigger picture instead of as of right now.
Because Kyle's watched the fucking show. Point blank. Joe and David have not watched the show.
Also, just like as a note, this decision is very inconsequential. Like, choosing someone to work with in this immunity challenge, unless you are directly going to stand still and ban your partner from winning, why would that make you 2 good allies? Like,
because David has not watched this show, Jack.
Yeah,
David has not watched the show. He doesn't know where he is. He thinks that he's on the challenge. He thinks he's on, I don't know. God.
Fuck, you just made me realize that he's absolutely going to get the call for the challenge.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, no, he definitely is. Oh my god.
He's gonna do well on the challenge, except he's going to get out politics every single time because he's not smart enough to have great strategy. He is going to get out politics. He gonna win, but he is not going to get. He is not going to make it very far if he don't learn how to strategize correctly. Because the challenge people are going to eat him up. They gonna eat him up. They gonna use him for his strength, and then they will discard him.
Oh yeah, David and Eva are getting the call for the challenge, and it's gonna be great. Hopefully Cheyenne does as well. I would like to see that. But
maybe Slay as well.
And maybe
definitely
Star.
Say if
and maybe Star.
And Star.
I would like to see Star. I would like to see Star.
I mean, Star is definitely, I don't know if she'll be challenged, but I can definitely see Star on Traders. I can definitely see Star on Amazing Race with someone. But
Star and her wife on Amazing Race.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Amazing Race.
That'd be beautiful.
Amazing Race producers, please. Amazing Race producers, please. I have never wanted anything more in my entire life. Amazing Race producers, please.
She is reality TV gold. And we
Oh
saw
my
that
God,
even
yeah.
in the little moments that we see of Star in these episodes, these past 2 episodes, they've been small, but they've been memorable and they've been great. And it's like she's reality TV gold.
Can we get it trending? #star on TAR. Can we get it
Sure.
trending? Please.
Oh my God,
And
I
thank
just
you.
caught that.
Thank
Jesus
you.
Christ, that's good.
Thank
No,
you.
we have to do that
Thank
now.
you.
That's not a
Thank
question.
you.
Star on
Thank you.
TAR. You can't can't say the Amazing Race without TAR. Star.
Period. Because she's what?
Mhm.
A star.
A star.
Mhm.
Welcome to
So,
my weekly praise on Star.
oh, there will be more. Don't you worry.
Oh yes.
This is a Star Stan podcast. Don't worry. Oh, y'all think we're upset this week?
Oh, please.
I'm not putting it in the universe. I'm not
Nope.
putting it in the universe. She will be making Final 3. She will be
Yes.
making Final 3. She will be winning the season. I'm not putting that in the universe. Anyway, let's talk about the immunity challenge. So it is obstacles in their duos, running through this little cage, dig to get their ladder pieces. First 3 teams make it through. The other 2 teams then have to go on a journey where someone's going to lose their vote because Jeff Probst cannot get off at night unless he gets someone to lose their vote.
I don't understand this loser vote.
I'm over
every
it. I
single
hate
time.
it.
I'm over it.
Also, just a small note. Okay, great. We have a majority alliance who came together because they're strong challenge players.
Mhm.
Let's now punish the 2 pairs of people who do bad in an immunity challenge.
Yes. I hate it.
And then let's reward the 4 people who do the best in
Uh-huh.
that one is relatively normal, like yeah, but
Whatever.
Anyway.
So the three teams that make it through the first partner section then have to build their ladder with the fun puzzle pieces. This is my favorite like challenge segment. Like this would be my favorite thing to do because like very spatially aware. I love this one. And then use those ladder planks to then make it across the rope bridge. First 2 teams to make it across move on to the individual portion. That team that doesn't make it across doesn't lose their vote, but doesn't get the taco reward back at camp. So they're kind of, as spoiler Kyle says, they're in this like limbo kind of situation. And then the top 2 teams that make it through then split from their partner, and then it is a 4-person classic hang on that pole, baby.
Hang on the pole.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got.
Yep,
Except the pole barely has any footholds
No
now,
footholds
and they're all
now.
very small, meaning this is literally who can just hug a pole the longest, aka who's probably the lightest and or just has the best grip strength. This is not get a grip in any regard. Okay, cool. This is where we are in the season.
This is where we're at in Survivor. This is how they make it more difficult.
I mean, my thing is some things don't need to be super difficult all the time. Some things can be you can start off with some easiness and then ease into the difficulty. Like you don't have to start off completely difficult the whole time. Like, come on.
No, Lana, it's a new era of Survivor. Everything has to be difficult.
Everything is hard. I know. We don't give you anything. You have to earn everything. Blah blah blah.
I was genuinely surprised that the reward was tacos. I'm like, this is the most complete meal I think they've given anyone for a random reward in the 8 seasons of the new era.
Yeah.
I'm like, tacos? That's a complete meal, Jeff Probst. What do you mean? It's not a sandwich? It's not a peanut butter and jelly? It's not breadcrumbs? Tacos? I'm gagged.
Yeah.
All right then.
I mean, different versions of tacos. Beef tacos, chicken tacos, veggie tacos. I'm
like this
all
is
right then.
A surprisingly full meal.
And chips.
Chips.
We'll put a pin in that.
We'll talk on that.
Let's put a pin in those chips.
Pin in that.
What kind of tacos would you all have wanted at this reward.
Chicken
Because
tacos.
of course we all would have made it through to the individual portion and we would have gotten our
Yes, exactly.
Of course we all would have, right? Of course.
We would have, yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Yeah, because me digging through a tunnel with sand is something I normally do on a regular basis.
Oh, of course.
And
Totally
then
normal,
thinking,
everyday, regular activities for us, Lana. Of
Yeah.
course.
absolutely.
Lana, you
I would have
like
ate it up.
that's
do
just
that
your
all the
Sunday
time.
night. That's just your Sunday
Yeah.
Oh,
night.
that's what regular.
Your
Yeah, that's-
recreational dig a hole league.
dig a hole and putting planks on the stairway and running
Absolutely.
upstairs. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I do all the
I've
time.
got a road bridge in my backyard that doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
Pal, you should see my Survivor obstacle puzzle kit I have on the side of my house. It's really there.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no. But chicken tacos, absolutely.
Oh, period.
I would have told them
Period.
chicken and some steak tacos up. Give me them.
Oh, yes. Jack, what
Okay.
kind of tacos you having?
I'm gonna go with an al pastor.
Oh,
Yeah.
have
Either
all
that
the
or
al
be-
pastor for me
Yeah.
because I can't have it anymore. And that is one of the few things that I miss having because I'm allergic to pineapple. Like that is one of that
Yeah.
is one of the few things that like I crave, and I'm so upset I can't. I hate
Mm.
it.
Mm,
What you eating?
Carne asada tacos for sure.
yes. Okay.
Okay.
Carne asada with like fajita veggies on it for sure. Or give it
Mhm.
like street style with the white onion, with the cilantro, with some salsa. Like that's just perfect. But too bad for Camilla and Cheyenne and Mitch and Star. They had no shot.
None
getting
whatsoever.
any tacos. No.
And they lose your
Yeah.
vote just because.
Well, they have a chance to lose their vote.
One of you are going to lose your votes.
Well, at this point, we didn't know it was one, but yes, one of them is going to lose their
Yeah.
vote.
Yeah.
It was fairly close. Like they all were doing fine.
I thought Mitch and Star was gonna get it. I was like, oh, they're
I
gonna
thought
get it.
they
They're gonna
were
get it.
too.
They
was like,
couldn't get them pieces up. It hurt.
Not the case. But
No.
this middle portion was also very close. I mean, David and Mary slayed this.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
slayed it. They did their damn part.
My problem
Even
is I was wondering like why nobody had like one person over there like, okay, it's middle a big middle big. Like why wasn't one person looking for the planks and the other person shouting out what it is so they can have the planks ready? Like I would have
Isn't
just
that
did
what
that.
David and Mary were doing?
Well, no, because each of them will go find it, look, and then bring it up. Okay, when they will look when they bring
I
it
thought
back.
someone was doing it because there were people that were communicating like that back and forth.
I
It-
would
it
have
was
been the person not
kind
back
of.
and forth. I would have just been standing at the thing like, okay, it's a small, big, large, or small, middle, big. And then you bring that, okay, and go back. And then I can take the next one. Like, I'm just doing that because I don't want to keep running back and forth. That's just me. That's just me. But David and Mary ate up though. They whatever they
Oh,
did,
yeah.
it worked for them.
Truly.
I want to say during this second portion, we had one of, I think, the most shocking falls that I've seen in a while of like, oh my God, are they genuinely okay? I thought a plank broke.
Yeah.
No, they both just kind of toppled off of one of the planks each. I was genuinely concerned. I was like, oh shit, are they good? Seemingly.
Yeah, I think the planks is because they were doing it both on the same plank and moving it together because they were behind Kyle
Mhm.
and Chrissy. And I think the plank just flipped off of the rope and they just fell.
Yeah. For a second I was like, I thought they might have been able to catch up.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
But no. Even
No.
Joe
No.
get their stuff together. And they move on to the final situation. So we're
Even
hanging on a pole.
Joe. Yep, even Joe and David and Mary are hanging on a vault, baby. It's, it is what it is. So
Well, not for long, because Joe drops pretty early in, and David falls pretty quickly after. So,
Yeah, this is
nobody's surprised by that in the absolute slightest.
like, it was so fast. I think I stepped away for a minute and I came back
Oh
and they were
no!
gone. I was like, oh
I
dang.
mean, once I saw what the challenge was, honestly, I was
Oh
like, okay, they're gonna make it to the end, but these two have no shot. Like,
yeah.
this is not a challenge traditionally. Emphasis here on the word traditionally.
Mm-hmm.
That bigger, buffer men do well
Mm-hmm.
at. There are exceptions to the rule, but traditionally the big buff men do not do well at this challenge. So I
Especially
was
with no
not
footholds.
yeah, no, especially
exactly.
with this being basically them starting on the hardest footholds possible,
Mm-hmm.
which, like, for all of them, cool. Anyone with any amount of body weight is fucked immediately. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That weird decision. Really weird
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah. But yeah, so Eva and Mary are doing their thing. They're up there. Star's trying to do all the distraction stuff that she can. And Jeff is up there like, some people want all the distractions and some people just want me to shut up. And Mary's like, yes, please.
Second option.
Mary, you queen. And Jeff is like, I'm going to shut my trap. And she goes, do what you need to
Thank you.
do. And at the end of the day, I said, yes, a queen that respects that this is a television program. And I appreciate you for that, Mary. Work, Mary.
She will get her complaint in, but will still allow you to feel heard.
100%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
100%.
And I respect that. I respect that.
Absolutely. Unfortunately for Miss Mary, she wasn't able to hold on.
Yeah.
Eva does get her immunity win.
Although realistically, neither Mary nor Mary was kind of a name at one point, but Mary and Eva were never really being targeted tonight, so it really didn't matter.
We all knew Eva was going to get an individual win at some point, so you know what? Good on you, gal. I'm happy she got one. She's a fan of the show. I'm happy she got one. I'm gonna give her her praise because she did deserve this one. Good on you, girl. So,
I'll give you your 7s.
Sure. So, then we get the whole tribe splitting up, and mind you, at this point, it's still morning. Like they did this early in the damn morning. Like they said, by the end of the day, it was a long day here on day 15. So the winners are going back to camp for their tacos. Chrissy and Kyle are going back to normal camp by themselves. And then we've got the losers going off to do their own thing on their journey. So we pop in first with Chrissy and Kyle back at regular everyday camp. And Chrissy is like, let's take the shot at Joe. And Kyle's like, whoa.
What about Shahi?
Love the enthusiasm, gal.
But let's take a breather.
However,
let's relax. However, comma, paragraph. How about no? How about we go not Joe and think about Shaheen at this point?
Yes.
Because I don't really fully trust. And she's like, I mean, I'm okay with that too. I'm just saying
goal is
the duo.
Someone in that.
Right. She's like, somebody in this loggy tribe of nobody going home people, even though 2 people go home. But this loggy tribe, we gotta break them up. And I'm thinking Eva and Joe are like this. They're like this. We need to break them up. Take the head off the snake is what she said. She said, because evil will be lost without Joe. And
Yeah.
I was like, she's not wrong. But then
She's not
Kyle,
wrong.
she's not. But then
But
Kyle was
do
like,
you have
but.
support?
Kyle said, hold up, but hold on, wait. Let's put a pin in that because she was like, I know, Eva has the immunity either she can just give the immunity to Joe, and there we go. We still can't get him out. And he was
Exactly.
like, right. She's like, okay. I was like, ooh, Krista coming in hot. She's coming in hot. And you know what? I kind of like it. Spicy. I like it.
I loved it.
I'm here for it.
I wanted more spicy, Chrissy.
Yeah.
Would have loved that.
Well, we do get more. But
I'm excited to talk more about Spicy Chrissy, but let's put a pin in Spicy Chrissy and unpin the journey. Our good old journey.
Yay.
Now they stole this journey game from Mario Party now, didn't they?
Yeah, they literally have them play a version of Nim.
Literally.
The game that is notoriously a game that can be rigged. Huh?
Literally. Hey, it's not Yahtzee. I'll take it. It's not Yahtzee.
That bar is in hell, Logan.
I'm aware, Jack, but it's not Yahtzee. Therefore, I'll take it.
I would have rather it been Scrabble. I agree.
Okay.
However, it's not.
I just don't like this.
This time,
I guess
the person that lost their vote made it through tribal. That's all I care about.
Well, I'll say it didn't matter in the end, and I'm thankful and grateful that it didn't matter in the end. But I still don't like that it happened.
No, I understand. Ultimately, this journey doesn't matter. So
yes,
we're not going to spend that much time on it. It's this gray balls and red balls situation. Each person in their order can either take 1 or 2 balls, and the person that ends up with 3 red balls first loses their vote. Ultimately, because of the way that they were intending to do the vote on this occasion, Camilla and Mitch decide that they're going to non-verbally work together and ultimately try to get Star to lose her vote because they're not working with Star, but on this vote, they're not working with Star. And they need their votes together to take out... What's their target, Christy, at this point?
It was kind of a weird thing. I think it was also a thought of like, Star is not going to be the target tonight, but Star isn't really a part of our plan. If we intentionally try to hit Cheyenne here, he could get really paranoid and worried, and then he can spin something. But if we just hit Star here, it's fine, and Star is going to be okay with it.
And she's not necessarily going to retaliate necessarily.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have bad blood with Star here. I don't think this is going to cause bad blood with Star. And I don't see it causing bad blood with Star, honestly. It sucked. I didn't want to see Star without a vote because anytime Star is without a vote, it makes me worried.
Right.
But ultimately, she broke the go into tribal council without a vote curse. So I'll take that. Yes, ma'am, Miss Star. Come through, Mama Star. Breaking curses. Yes, God. But it sucked that, Camilla had to be the one to give her all 3 of her red balls.
Right.
That sucked. I didn't want to see that because I love Camilla. So, but Camilla had to do what she had to do. And ultimately, given the situation, I'm glad Camilla had a vote.
Yeah.
So, it all kind of worked. I guess. So, yeah. I like this as a journey at this point. It's better than Yahtzee. It's better than, I would have liked to see something physical.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Like the 4 of them competing in something like running through the jungle. Like that would have been kind of fun.
Yeah.
But
I guess it's better than Jenga. Like,
It's better
that
than
was
Jenga for
genuinely an
sure.
option. At least there is strategy to this. At least there's a
Mhm.
game to play.
Totally.
Even if that game can literally just be 3 people ganging up on one person, guaranteeing they lose their vote. Why was this ever proposed?
Well, yeah. Regardless, we then go to the reward. They're eating their reward. And Eva notices that she has a scroll in her chip bowl. Now, is this because she won individual immunity?
Think
No,
so.
I don't think so.
I
This
think so.
is maybe
The
'Cause
way
the
it
way-
was worded, it
The
made
way
me
it was
say,
worded.
they said because you won immunity, you get this advantage.
Well, it didn't say that directly, but it was like your successes have brought you this.
Yes.
It was some like survivory wording that was like your successes have brought you more success or some bullshit.
But
I guess
I don't know. I think I'm with you, Jack, again, because wait, I'm going full circle. Because unless they told them exactly where to sit,
they did.
then
They did.
So
they told
here's the
well,
thing.
then it was for her. Then it was for her. Because
Here's the
those chips,
thing
everybody
that I
had
simply
their
don't
own
know.
bowl. Everybody had their own bowl of chips, Jack. That's what I'm saying. If they told them exactly where to sit and they all gave them their own individual bowls, that had to be for her. And I'm aggressively talking over you because that's what happens next. Sorry.
It is absolutely for her, and I'm saying it is 100% an advantage being given to Eva. I have doubts that it is because she won individual immunity, and it's more because they wanted to give her an advantage.
Mm.
Genuinely, I think that they were like, we get to give one of the 4 people here an advantage. We can give it to the immunity winner, I guess, but also, why does an immunity win need to also get you an additional advantage during the next round? Like, it's not
Especially
even
when
about this round, it's next round.
Especially when
Jeff
you
and the
already
producer.
have an idol in your pocket. So we just gonna give her all the advantages. On production.
Jeff and the producers have done weirder shit.
Yeah, they
That's
have.
all I'm gonna say. I'm not defending them necessarily. I'm just saying Jeff and the producers have done weirder shit, and the things may have lined up where they planned for the immunity winner, regardless of who it was, to win this. Now, I'm not saying that the stars aligned and they just so happened to line this up where Eva then also got this because they wanted to give Eva an advantage. I'm not saying that's not the case, because it very well could be, and I do agree with you. It very well could be the case. I'm just saying, like, it could have been planned all along. It could have been planned and just executed in this moment. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Point being, she now has
We
an
don't know.
advantage that she gets to go grab at night.
Something
at
in the middle of night by sneaking out of camp.
Yeah.
And we literally don't know what that is until next episode, where it wasn't even in the preview.
No.
Which,
At night.
interesting. Although I guess that also gives cadence to the fact that it could just be the individual immunity winner, because they want to make sure that can happen.
Thank you. Because it would be guaranteed for the individual immunity winner to make it through tribal council, so that it's guaranteed that they pick up the advantage.
Yeah.
Because if it's not the individual immunity winner,
And that person
then
goes home.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there are arguments, but I'm also going to actively perceive that production is
And
doing something dumb.
And, you could be right. 100%. 100% I believe your theory could be right.
Jeff could
100%.
say in the On Fire podcast that it was intentional, and I will just eat my words, but I also just don't trust production at this point. So let's move on.
Any scenarios could be correct. Genuinely.
Right.
Yeah.
Any of them could be correct.
Absolutely.
But at the reward, David quickly shifts the conversation to some concerns over Shaheen. But instead of voting out Shaheen, we're thinking about voting out Camilla.
Because
they
Shaheen
might be
picked
working together.
But Shaheen is in the direct group of the 5, so it will be easier to get rid of Camilla because she's not in the direct 5 that they have, but it also helps Mary sleep better at night.
Because Mary says that she will 100% trust Shaheen if Camilla goes home, because allegedly Camilla and Shaheen are working together. Now, there's no confirmation that Camilla and Shaheen are working together, but allegedly, according to our sources, Camilla and Shaheen maybe, potentially, might be maybe working together. There's no confirmation of that.
And this is because they were on the same post-swap tribe, maybe. They were both but then why isn't Camilla working with Joe?
What? See, here's the. I don't understand.
He just wanted
David.
a reason.
I don't understand David in this moment because wasn't it just the other day, the last tribal council, where Camilla was trying to throw Shaheen under the bus? So, if your logic is logicking, or which is not, because if they were working together, why would she try to firstly throw him under the bus? Just yesterday. Just yesterday, she was throwing him under the bus. But now they're working together because they chose to work together in this puzzle or this challenge.
You want to know why it's not making sense to David, Lana?
Because it doesn't make sense at all.
Because he hasn't had chocolate milk in 15 days.
Yeah, that's probably it.
But he had milk. He said he had milk. He had milk.
But
we
he hasn't
watched
had
him have
chocolate milk, Lana. The only muscles that work in that man's body are his arms and legs.
See, here's the thing. And I want to just say this to everyone. If you ever heard me giving David any praise or accolades, even calling him hot, I never said it. I never said it. I will Men in Black you right now. Boop. I never said it. Because this man is dumb as a box of rocks.
Yep.
Nothing he said in this episode made sense. And then the way he went about it was just gross. Just gross. He rubbed me the complete wrong way in this episode, and I am just annoyed because that whole logic of Camilla and Shaheen. Okay, fine. Even if you think they are working together, I don't understand Mary talking about. I don't know her. I don't trust her, and I sleep better at night if she's gone. Why, Mary? What did she do to you personally? Okay. I see what's happening here, and I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, but I'm thinking it. Not about that, but about I feel like Mary and Eva are living on the same planet here.
Oh, you
I think they're in the same universe here.
Oh no, I don't want to think.
And I don't want to think it, but I'm thinking it, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
I'm not gonna go that far, only because Mary has stuck up for Star a lot, and Mary and Star have been very, very close since the merge.
Look, that's because Star.
But I see where you're going. I see where you're going. I don't want to like it, but I see where you're going.
I don't want to say it either, but I'm saying I'm thinking they orbit in the same universe.
Oh no, Lana! I see where you're going, though.
Sorry,
and I understand where you're going.
Ugh, But I just don't. I don't know. But all I know is that Mary wants Camilla gone. David wants Camilla gone, and they all say it's because they don't trust that Camilla and Shaheen are not working together, and it doesn't make any sense. But that's the plan. Joe completely doesn't understand why it has to be Camilla at this point, and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Eva is just like, I don't care. I got this thing stuck in my pants, and I want to go read it, and I just want to know
Eva's
what's
like, I
happening.
have
I'm
immunity. I don't
safe. I have
care.
immunity. I don't care. Let me just do what I do. I
Yeah.
don't care. And so after all this, they get back to camp. Eva goes
Yeah.
off to read her scroll. Good on you, girl. You got an
Work.
advantage. Work. Kyle talks to Joe, and Joe is like, the plan is switched a little bit. And Kyle's like, what? What? It's not Chrissy? Because the plan was Chrissy. We all said Chrissy. Joe's like,
Uh-huh.
No,
the
not
plan
anymore.
has switched to Camilla. And Kyle was like, oh, wait. Whoa. What do you, why is
What
it not Chrissy? What the, do you mean? Right. Say it, Logan. Go ahead.
what the fuck is going on up in here on this day?
Absolutely. It's like, what is
And then
happening?
and then Kyle is like, oh, well, Chrissy was telling me a different name. And Joe's like,
Ooh.
oh, well, who is she throwing out? And Kyle's like, oh, well, she was throwing out your name. And
Joe
Joe's
said, you
like,
couldn't lead with this? You couldn't lead
and
with
Joe
that?
is like, what the fuck is going on up in here on this day?
What do you mean it's me? You supposed to start off this whole conversation with,
Right.
oh, by the way, Chrissy said, but Kyle was like, yeah. What are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about this? Because why is it Camilla? Joe was like, I don't know why it's Camilla, but I don't like that Chrissy is saying my name. So what are we going to do? He said, we got to go talk to, you need to go talk to David. So what does Kyle do? He goes to talk to David.
With
And
like
David,
everyone else in the Strong Alliance just there for some reason.
Minus Shaheen.
Minus
Shaheen.
Shaheen is invisible
We don't know
for
where
this
he at.
entire back half of the tribal or the tribe portion of this episode. Like he pops
Didn't
up
see him
once
at all.
right before they go. But yeah, so it's Eva, Joe, Kyle, David, and Mary are now having this discussion very openly on the beach.
To the point where
And
Star is like sitting there looking like, man, I wish I had subtitles.
Oh, I wrote down Star's quote because she's an icon here. She goes,
She's
this is like Live Survivor. Damn, I wish this thing had subtitles. And that has been Star's Star Moment of the Week.
period. More to come.
But yes. They're openly debating. Kyle is yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Literally.
Kyle is doing his absolute best here to not openly reveal that he's working with Camilla and doesn't want to vote out Camilla. Like he is doing the lawyer jumped out of this man.
Yes.
Like the lawyer jumped out of this man. I was thoroughly impressed with Kyle here. Like every single episode, I am getting more and more impressed with Kyle. Like
he was like, what you're not going to do is shut me down or shout me out in an episode, in an argument. But he did it in such a way where it was like, I'm not showing you that I'm willing to stick my neck out for her. I'm just saying, with all the information that we have, wouldn't it make sense to go after Chrissy today and not Camilla? Because Chrissy is the one throwing out Joe's name. Joe is the one whose name is getting brought out. And if enough people catch on and go Joe,
we're screwed.
And so they like, well, it gotta be Camilla. Like, I don't know what Eva was like. Yeah, I'm leaning with Camilla. And Joe at this point is like, well, if all of them are leaning towards Camilla, I ain't got no choice.
And then in confessional is like, I genuinely don't know why we're voting Camilla. I don't get why we're voting Camilla. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, Joe,
don't
why
vote
would
for
you vote
Camilla.
Camilla? You made an alliance with Camilla right before merge. You
She can
have an
always be a
alliance.
back pocket.
You have an alliance with Camilla, Kyle, and Shaheen. Did you forget about your alliance and the very deep conversation you had on that beach with Kyle, Camilla, and Shaheen? Did you just forget about that in favor of some white people?
For David, who could beat you in a challenge?
Well, and Eva, but Eva's been his
I mean,
number
but
one.
Eva's his ride or die, so
whatever.
I wouldn't work. I know he wasn't gonna go for
Go over
her.
David,
but over David, when you just had
who
this
we just saw literally
beat you. At some point, he is going to become your competition, and it just doesn't make sense.
He already is Joe's competition. That's the thing. That, and I'm assuming they just didn't have enough time to make this plan work. But in my mind, after they break up from this discussion, in my mind, I'm like, why are we not flipping the vote on David?
Honestly, I because this whole edit makes it seem like Camilla is the name that's going out.
Yes.
Like, genuinely, the episode confused me of like, oh, wait, that's not. So
Yeah.
my honest thought of what happened is potentially Joe spoke up and it's just unseen of like, yeah, no, I'm gonna do Camilla. We don't have the votes to do. I'm gonna go do Chrissy. We don't have the votes to do this. I didn't like your tone. We're doing Chrissy. That's final, and you can deal with the repercussions of this later. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get more information next episode because
I hope we do.
Seemingly this turn from the vote turning from Camilla to Chrissy is very, very irritating to one particular milk drinking four-nippled freak.
Or I'm wondering, because I guess we can just dive into it, because then we go to Tribal, and there's a lot of conversations happening at Tribal, like, and that's kind of how the day was. Kyle talks about how there's a lot of conversations happening. Mary's like, there's a lot of booms happening. And that's kind of how this episode felt like. It was just like this episode was a lot to comprehend. And then Chrissy kind of goes off. I'm going to take that pin out of Spicy Chrissy. And I said, yes, ma'am, Spicy Chrissy. Yes, ma'am, Spicy Chrissy. You better, ma'am. I loved every moment of this. I loved every single... Lana, you're muted, my love.
I was waiting till you finished.
Please.
What she said was never wrong.
No.
It was never wrong. Chrissy never lied in this moment. Everything about what she talked about was the way right. And I was like, go, Chrissy, state your piece. Talk your ish. Like, say that because you're not wrong. David being so aggravating and him getting aggravated with the fact that she was calling out the facts and truth about what's going on, and him like, well, all because now we're not the Shields and we're not the da da da. No, baby, I'm not mad. You can play your game how you want to play your game, and if that's how you go play your game, play your game. I'm just saying what it feels like to me. Now, I wasn't in those other seasons where the people got voted out because they were physical threats. I'm in this season. Oh, you happen to be in the wrong season. Whatever. Fact still remains in this game of individual immunity. If we continue to let the strongest people win, we have no hope, and then we just go get picked off. Period. You know your weaknesses and your strength. She was just stating what she did. I did not appreciate how he talked to her. I did not appreciate how his tone was so condescending and so dismissive of Chrissy. I'm like, absolutely not. Number one, no. No, absolutely not. You're not gonna do that when she's saying nothing wrong. And she has a right to express her views and how she feels in this game and in this moment. Now, sure, maybe it was a little too hot. And maybe it kind of cost her a little bit, but she ain't know the plan, so she don't know she was, where she stood with the tribe or whatever. But I appreciate that she was like, I'm just gonna say it, and I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna be truthful, and I'm just gonna speak my truth, and that's all I can do. You can agree to disagree with me. You can disagree
Yeah.
with everything I gotta say, but it's still not going to negate the fact that that's my truth. And honestly, nothing she said was a lie.
No.
Nothing she said was a
Nothing.
lie. Everything she said was true, and it cost her, and I hate it for
Yeah.
her. But
Yeah.
Miss Mama, you went out with the bang that you wanted. I will say that.
Yeah.
I will say that. But
I
David,
will
you're trash. I'm done now.
I will also say Camilla was very much in the same breath of why are you talking down to Chrissy? She's saying
Yeah.
things that are correct and it's her opinion. I also want to give Camilla potentially one of my favorite confessionals, period, of basically being like, yeah, so David didn't sign up to play this game. If what David actually wanted to do was call up Joe and Eva and say, hey, let's play the Olympics.
Literally.
Literally.
Like,
Like,
Literally.
and my thought is if we're getting that directly spoken, we're going to see some repercussions for this kind of conversation from people.
mhm.
And I am very much here to see that because
Yeah.
this kind of loyal integrity, strongest will survive is boring, and that's not why we watch a show. We would watch the challenge for that, and even that has gotten incredibly boring.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Another
It
moment. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, you're good.
Go ahead. Finish. I
No,
keep
that
jumping
I
in.
was basically just finishing the last sentence of I mean, this is why we watch a show to actually see underdogs who aren't the best in challenges maneuver their way to the end because they don't have to win immunity.
Mm, period. Another favorite part of this tribal is when Jeff goes to Star, and she was like, hey, she was like, I mean, the vibe back in with the camp was you look over here to the left, you see people talking. You look to the right, you see people talking. You look on the beach, you see people talking. You look in the hammock, you see people talking. And then you look around and see somebody ain't getting talked to. And if you ain't getting talked to, you getting talked about. And I was
Mhm.
like, yes, ma'am, Star. She was like, but you ain't got a vote, you ain't got a problem because nobody come talk to me because I ain't got no vote. And in that moment, I was like, of course, she breaking her course because nobody was voting Star anyway. But I love the
Yeah.
fact that she was able to go to this tribal, knowing she was safe, knowing she didn't have a vote, and she didn't have to worry about nothing to the point she was able to joke about it. Like, no votes, no problem. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
love that for you, Star. Love that for you. That is why you're a star. Love her.
Ugh,
Okay.
I love her. The whole Chrissy situation just frustrated me. I'm frustrated, I'm annoyed, I'm disappointed for her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of her archetype getting bulldozed in a show like this, especially by men in the archetype of David. It's frustrating, it's demoralizing, it's frustrating, it's idiotic.
It's
To
disrespectful.
see
Don't talk to her like that.
It's disrespectful. It's really disappointing for her to be a lifelong fan of Survivor and to go out like this by a man who has never watched this show, does not know what he's doing, and is crashing out left, right, and center. With all that being said, I think everything she said was incredibly iconic. I think she handled herself with grace. I think she stood on business here. She absolutely stood on business here. I loved this from Chrissy. I'm a fan. Period. Point blank. I loved every single moment of this. Every single moment. And I love, even though Camilla knew that it was either going to be her or Chrissy in this moment, I love that Camilla was right there beside her being like, why the hell are you upset? Why are you upset at her literally speaking the truth about what you're doing? Like, and also, factually, sir, what you said is not the truth. There are many seasons of Survivor where a dominant all-male alliance has bulldozed the season. If you bothered to watch the show that you applied to, instead of just seeing that, oh, there's $1 million on the line.
He didn't apply. They found him.
Oh, sorry. If you bothered to watch the show you were recruited for, instead of just seeing, oh, there's $1 million on the line, you would know that. But you didn't watch, so you wouldn't know. So shout out to you, Chrissy. I'm sorry that this is how your Survivor journey ended, but you handled yourself with all of the grace of a true great Survivor player.
And now Chrissy gets to poison the jury if any of them try to do this. Because said, I could even tell just from the bench was like, this was, she's absolutely right. And now said and Chrissy get to have a lovely time in Ponderosa and talk all the shit they want.
The parents will get to control Ponderosa, and I can't wait to see how this turns out.
I mean, and the fact that she wasn't even done talking on her way out the door. She was like, just cost y'all $1 million. Oh, well, good luck, because you gonna need it. And I was
Period, mama. Yes, God.
Yes, God. Chrissy ate. I don't care what nobody says. She ate that.
Potential mother.
Mother.
I'm gonna say potential only because I want to see how she does at Final Tribal Council. I'm only gonna say potential because I want to see the petty energy continue to Final Tribal Council. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
So I will reevaluate come finale night.
I hope her stay at Ponderosa don't calm her down a little bit. I need her to be fired, just as fiery as she was leaving. Especially if one of them make it in. I hope that doesn't happen, but whatever.
I know.
Chrissy's final words as well are beautiful. I got voted off of Survivor and I went out swinging with my head held high because these people are strong, they're killing challenges, and they're going to run this game. But now they have to deal with the repercussions.
Yep.
Let's see how fast they get kicked off.
Because
Camilla, I'll try to knock them down.
Yeah, Camilla told them, you are doing a very bad job of jury management. And when I heard jury management, I was like, yes, because you need to think about this now. You can't just kick people off and make them feel like trash on their way out. You have to think about jury management. And how do you talk to her? You think she want to vote for you?
David doesn't know better, y'all. He doesn't watch the show.
He doesn't do anything. No. He don't watch nothing.
At this point, they might as well drag him to the end because he's going to be a 0-vote finalist. I don't want to see it, but they might as well. If I'm one of them, I'm dragging him to the end.
Well, Julie.
Genuinely,
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not.
I'm not. Like, that display alone, I'm dragging him to the end. Because I know I can beat David. 100%.
I will just continue to let him implode on camp and then not vote him out. and let everybody
Yeah.
else keep them. But that will drive me nuts to see him going around camp, and I have to live with that. So I don't know. Maybe I
Oh.
wouldn't keep him.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm going to use him as the meat shield that he just said he was frustrated that other seasons voted him out for. And then in my final tribal speech, I'm going to say, oh, you were frustrated that other seasons, people like you got voted out for being a meat shield. Cool. I decided, nope, I'm going to keep you around as my meat shield. And I brought you to the end because I knew I could beat you. That's my final tribal speech, in part.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. I don't know if I can live with him, but anyway.
It
We
depends
do
on
get
what your active relationship is with him at that point.
Yes,
It depends on who you
absolutely.
are in relation to him, 100%.
Absolutely. But we do see in the previews, it's a little trouble in paradise. People,
Thank
the
God.
strong 5 or the strong 6 now, don't seem as strong or united as they used to be.
Yep.
And I hope.
we forgot to do it, y'all. I'm sorry. Mama Chrissy, I'm sorry. Please
no.
forgive us.
No.
Please
Don't
forgive
do it.
us.
I
I'm
was trying to skip
sorry.
past it.
No.
I was trying to skip past it.
I'm
Chrissy,
sorry.
I tried, Chrissy. I tried to skip past
Hey,
it.
Yeah.
hey,
We could
hey.
have just
If
we
it
could have let it
means,
ride.
hey, if this starts the trend of eliminating that top row, not mad at it.
Yeah, I guess if we have to do it like that. I guess.
If we thinking about it in that perspective, then sure.
Starting the trend.
We'll start with the top, and then we'll go to the
upset at it.
middle, and then we'll go to the bottom, and the last person in the bottom row wins.
If that bottom row is the final 3, wouldn't be mad.
Wouldn't be mad, but I would prefer the right side of the middle column, middle row. Just like
Well, yeah,
Okay,
that
how
would
about
put,
we
that
do
would
an
have
L?
2 of your that would put me out of the draft and 2 of your draft picks in the final 3, Jack.
I would like the middle, like
There's
the
better.
middle L down, across, down. That's it.
Who
That's
is
fair.
Lana? No, who?
Middle, starting with Kyle, go
Uh-huh.
over to Mary, and then down the star. That's it.
That's fair.
Well, I still wouldn't have any draft picks there, so no.
I mean, we're not worried about your draft at this point.
Hey, how about this? Mary, Star, and Shaheen. We each get 1.
I'll have to see how it. I need an episode.
Right, I need to see how
that
soon
over.
Shaheen play over.
Yeah,
I
need a little bit of time to think that over before I accept that deal.
Right.
Okay, I just lost another one, y'all. Give me something, please. Give me something.
Well,
Y'all.
Fine, I'll tentatively accept it.
Wow, Lana, you just eliminated Chrissy off the whole damn thing, didn't you?
Where'd she go?
You said fuck Chrissy.
Oh no!
I did not take her off. I just slated it like I do all the whole thing. I don't know where she went. Oh no.
Oh God.
Well, that's awful. I didn't do that. I didn't do that on purpose. I didn't do that on purpose. I did not do that. Close your mouth, because you know I didn't do that. Close your mouth and stop acting so brand new, because you know I didn't do that.
Lana.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare on this live broadcast. Don't you dare. Fix your mouth and don't you dare.
Lana.
After everything I just said about Chrissy, you think I would do that? Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Not on this here live broadcast. Don't you do
How
it.
could you?
Don't you do it.
Lana.
Logan, watch your mouth. Stop it right now. Not on this live broadcast when you do that to me.
I'm pulling up the original file and it is deleted.
I didn't delete it. It did it on its own. I didn't do it. You know?
No, I believe it is an accident. I understand. Accidents do happen.
Sometimes Canva do that thing. Canva does that type of thing. I did
Canva
not do.
does that.
Oh, I mean, we haven't seen it on live broadcast doing the CBB thing when it takes your whole box away. Don't act brand new. Don't you dare.
No, Angelica just didn't like that box.
And everybody else who didn't like their box.
Uh-huh.
So stop it. Chrissy didn't like being slated out, so she left.
You know, I don't blame her for that.
I don't blame her
I don't
either.
blame
I
her
would
for
have
that
left
either.
too. I would have left
Yeah, I
too.
would have left you.
Yeah.
But
To be honest.
it's all good.
I'm sorry, Chrissy.
For such a bland episode, we certainly did go the normal amount of time we usually do.
Yeah, because we don't know
Yeah,
how
we
to be
did.
quiet. We don't know how to be quiet,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Quiet. That's not why we're here. We're here to be
No, in fact, we
loud.
certainly usually do the opposite of quiet, which is loud.
Mhm.
I just noticed you're wearing a fucking HOH shirt, Jack.
Yeah, I want to be on a different show right now.
How dare
This
you?
episode did not spark any joy.
Okay, well then catch up on the 9 episodes of CBB UK that are already out. That's
No,
Big
I
Brother.
have Twitter for that.
Okay. Well, anyway, thank you for joining us for this mildly chaotic recap of episode 8 of Survivor 48. We will be back against our better judgment next week to talk about whatever the hell goes on in episode 9 of this season. We're going to trudge along. Who knows how this season's going to go, but we're certainly going to be here talking about it. We'll be back next week, 9:45 p.m. Eastern, to talk about Survivor 48. If you like to see us live, we are also now live 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, for this week and next week. And I think that's it, actually, for Celebrity Big Brother UK. So join us for later in live over there, 7 p.m. Eastern, midnight BST, where we're talking about the Celebrity Big Brother UK house. We've also got a bunch of content over here on the Cup TV, as well as all across the Cup network. So make sure to check out the links below where you can find our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to Cup mug. Subscribe everywhere. We're trying to get 1,000 new subscribers across all of our channels by the end of the year, and all your support means the world to us, so thank you very much for that. With that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here so we don't have to talk about that horrible man until next week. Cheers.
Cheers.